I'm going to show you now how to create the inner walls, and I'm going to be using the exterior walls in order to do it. So I'm going to show you a quick way to do it. So I'm coming back to, here's our website, here's the grade sheet. On the grade sheet, here's the actual, we've now done the base, we've done the walls. We need to create these interior walls. We've done the exterior walls, now we need to create the interior walls, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cheat because we already have these walls built. You saw after we made the first wall, why make a new fresh wall? Just copy, paste, spin. That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to take these walls that we already created and I'll start making these interior walls. You must create these block walls, and the block walls, the point of a block wall is when you have someone play your maze, they might just take the ball, put it here, and then just go along the exterior wall right past the holes straight to the end, and it kind of defeats the purpose of working it through the maze. So if you put a block wall, it stops them from just running it around. So there has to be a minimum of 3 block walls, one on each of the exterior walls leading from the start. It doesn't have to be on the final wall. So here's a block wall, here's a block wall, here's a block wall. Let's go ahead and build it. It gives you the measurements. We're good. So we're going to come over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on a wall. I'm going to take that exterior wall, I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to go click, and I can go up here and copy it, or on my keyboard I can, if it's Mac, Command C, or if it's PC, Control C. And then I'm going to paste it. I now have 2 of them, and let's just say I want it right about there. Now remember, there has to be a 1/4 of an inch between all of space, between any circle, any hole in a wall. So that's a minimum of 1/4 inch. See how all these, now an exterior wall, you don't have to have a 1/4 of an inch, okay? But an interior, all these things on the interior, 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. So I have to make sure when I set up my walls, my holes, that there's a 1/4, minimum of a 1/4 of an inch. It can be bigger. See how big that is right there? It's okay to be closer on the exterior, but the interior, minimum 1/4 of an inch. And that's the same with the walls too. That way it gives some fairness. That's minimum 1/4 of an inch. You can make it wider. Hopefully that makes sense. See, like from here to here, that's more like a 1/2 an inch. Okay, so let's come on in here. I'm going to quickly show you how I'm going to set up my walls. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to reduce it. So I'm going to go like that. Whoops, and there I go. That's my wall. Now I'm going to take it and how about I copy it? Control C. I'm going to paste. Control V. And now I'm going to take this one, and you already know how to spin, right? See the arrow? Now I'm just going to go 90 degrees. There's my 90. And release. I'm going to stick it on the end. And how about, let's say I copy this one right here, okay? So let's say this one here, I'm going to click on this wall here. I'm going to use my keyboard. Whoops, see those big jumps? Remember to always go fine. Then that has to be a minimum of 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to take that, and that's 2 squares. There's 1 square, 2 square. I need to come down just a little bit. There, I now have 1/4 of an inch. This wall here, let's bring it down. I like it right about there, okay? And then I need to make sure there's a 1/4 of an inch space. I'm going to bring this one over just a little bit, okay? Now I take this, I'm going to reduce it, and I like it. So now let's go ahead and do another one. I'm going to go, I can either do on my keyboard Command C or PC Control C, or I can just go copy and now paste. There's my second wall. I'm going to take it and put it right here, and all I'm doing is copying this right here. So now I'm going to just make it very small. There's that right there. And now how about we go ahead and we make a block wall, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and how about this block wall right here? Okay, that's a simple block wall. So I'm going to copy there. I'm going to go copy, copy. I'm going to go right here, paste. There's the wall. How about I put it in just about there? Okay. And I'm going to bring this guy in. I want him right about there. And then I'm going to go, how about I just take this? I'm going to go copy, then paste. Now on this, all I have to do is spin it to 90 degrees. And let's put it about right there. I'm going to bring this guy in a little. And I'll bring this one down a little. And I think I'm good. So now I can go, and you can, now that you get the hang of it, okay, and so now you've seen how I go ahead, and eventually you're going to have to group all of these. You're going to have to group the holes so that they appear. You're going to have to group the walls. You're going to have to group the base. You have to group all of it. All I'm doing right now is building these interior walls. And if I was to go look down on the side, you should be able to see. I'm going to click on, slide this over a little bit. I'm going to go work plane. I'm going to take this wall here. I'm going to use my keyboard and make it go, and these should all be the same height. Because what I'm looking at right now, come on, that's the far wall I'm looking at right now, okay? And I am looking at it. You see how everything inside of here is the same height. And if I rotate it up, you can see I'm still looking at those walls. So I'm going to bring it back down again, and now I'm going to bring this wall back in and close it up. And all I'm using is the arrow on my keyboard in order to do this, to see that they're all lined up. That's it. You can go ahead now and start building. Click off. Looks good. I'll rotate back up. And now you can go ahead without me and just go ahead and start building your walls. Okay? Have fun.